Okay, friends. Morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the friends who have joined here on our Zoom meeting, and for the people who are watching live on the PMCUSA YouTube channel. First of all, let's give great pranamams to our Grandmaster, Brahma Shri Pitama Patriji, for showing this wonderful path, my dear friends. So welcome friends, welcome again. This is what day we are on. We are on 15, so we're getting closer to the completion. It's last week of this whole program. We are doing this 21 days of joyful meditation program, of course sponsored or arranged by PSSMUSA. So welcome you all again for this day 15, friends. So I always repeat of what we are doing from the beginning, so that it's good to have kind of a recap. So the first week we talked about the thought power and mind power, and then the second week we talked about the soul science and the whole technology behind what that soul is and how it works. And this week, we are planning to talk about this body, right? So our main components we always start are these three things. So that's how this whole program is split into. So today, let's go get understanding of our whole body structure and what it belongs to, how it is formed, and things like that, my dear friends. And again, what we are all talking is all from the spiritual aspect, my dear friends. So whatever we have read in our sciences and all that is all purely from materialistic science. Okay, so there is an equivalent spiritual science which goes parallelly across, which nobody or no educational system talks about this, but all are spiritual science like our Vedic knowledge or any religion. So there is no religion bound to it, but any spirituality, if you take, everybody would talk about the spiritual science also along with the materialistic science, but only in our educational syllabus, I think they have covered only from the materialistic aspect. So now we'll talk and understand from the spiritual perspective, my dear friends. So that's why you would not heard this before, but and in some places you would have heard. If you have heard, then it will be purely based on your spiritual science perspective. That is how you would have heard it. So let's try and get more understanding. Let me share my screen. I just want to show this as a pictorial so that it is easy to understand. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so hope you're able to see my screen. Okay, so what we are going to talk about is this 7 body structure, my dear friends. So all our human bodies are made up of this 7 layers. That's what we'll try to understand, how they are and things like that, and what is the important or the functionality of each segment is what we'll try to understand. Again, it's all at a very high level, right? Each of the subject has its own kind of a theory where we can go and explore, but we are just giving you at a high level what each one is the functionality of each body, right? So that's what we'll talk about. So let's go from the bottom, my dear friends. This is a 7-layered structure. You would have seen these images in multiple places. And these are we'll go from bottom to the top, right? Because we all know what this physical body is about. So that's why we'll start from there and we'll see what are all it composed of, right? So let's talk about the physical body, my dear friends. The physical body, what we see is the most dense material, which means it is the most heavy material. All the other bodies, what is compassed inside is all goes little bit thinner, and things like that, right? But the mass, the body, what you see from outside the physical body is we could describe that as just a cover, my dear friends, right? It is, you have various parts inside, and to cover something, they found out or they made a physical structure. So that's how, if you want to compare it to like an electronic item, it is easy to understand. Like, say, suppose a phone or a computer system, whatever. Let's take a phone, more easy to relate, right? So the phone, the body, we are not talking about the case. So just the phone as such, the body, what you see is containing of that glass and that metal component, all that, right? So that's what that physical body is, right? If you now put a case onto it, that is like a clothing, like your shirt, pant, and things like that. So that's how if you put a case onto your mobile. Now, just that phone as such is the physical body. So how does that phone function? It's not based on the phone structure. It works based on the motherboard, the chip inside, and the electric power which enables to charge, right? And there is a memory card inside. So all those are the functionalities of the phone, but this phone is just made to to enable all these functionalities and cover all those parts not to get damaged easily. So that's how that physical case or the physical body of the phone is made of, right? Just that body does not have any functionality, my dear friends. All the parts inside is what has the functionality, and this is just an enabler. Exactly, this is how our body structure is also, my dear friends. The physical body, what you say hands, what you say legs, what you say eyes, right? These are all just physical, all your energy system, which is all kept in certain ways, and the this body is covered on top of it. So this is the etheric body, is what we call. Only this functionality is what enables this body to work, right? So, for example, if you want to relate it more, say, suppose a particular human being is totally paralyzed, right? So, which means they have the hands, they have the legs, everything, but they are paralyzed, which means the energy system inside is down. So even though they have those physical hands, physical legs, physical body, everything, but it is not functioning because there is the energy system which is totally down, right? Now take another example wherein a person is not having a hand, for example, right? So physically challenged people is what we say. So if there is no hand, but still they're able to perform the same task what you do with the hand with other available uh, parts. Like they might, if you say suppose a particular person without having a right hand, he might be able to write with the left hand, or he might be able to paint with the left hand, or somebody would be able to paint even with the leg, right? So what does this mean? The energy inside is strong, only the physical container is missing, right? So you see the difference between the availability of the physical body and the availability of the etheric body. So the etheric body is much more important than your physical structure, my dear friends. So this is one clear example we can take and understand the difference of the physical body and the etheric body, my dear friends, right? So we do all the beauty things to our physical body, which is just like behaving like a container, but we do not take care of our etheric body, which does the actual functionality behind, right? So that's why we do these meditation so that our energy directly gets on to this etheric body, and that's how it provides those energies and removes the blocks and make the functionality work much better, right? All the physical cleaning, what you do, like showering or brushing your teeth, is all what you're doing is just cleaning up the container, like how you clean up your cell phone, right? If there is any dirt, you just clean up. But if something is not working, you have to do repair inside. Nothing you can do outside, right? Similarly, all your problems you want to solve from inside. Nothing is outside what you wanted to repair, right? Of course, say suppose if you have fell down and if there is a wound, of course you will apply some medicine, or you will do, if there is any fracture of the bone, you will do all that. But all that is only from the physical nature, as how your case or your phone gets cracked, or if it falls down, you will do some repair work to that. But if the functionality of the human body is not working, we should repair in the etheric structure and not in the physical structure. So that's what we need to understand, my dear friends, the difference between the physical and etheric body. Okay, so each of these bodies are in separate layers, my dear friends. So everything is layered on one on top of it, and outside is what this physical form is placed, right? But we are trying to understand from the outside so that we know from outside. So we are going each step inside to see what are all layers it has, right? So the next one is the emotional body, what we talk about, my dear friends. So this is where all your emotions are controlled or captured or mm, or performed, right? Like this, the physical body we know as a container, the etheric body we understood it as the actual functionality, like the movement of hands, movement of legs, right? Seeing, right? Hearing, all those are the functionalities of the body which the etheric body performs. And the emotional is another layer, totally different layer, because it is coming out of your heart, right? So that has a different layer altogether, like how your in your cell phone, your motherboard is the key, wherein it has a different layer and all the other enablers are different, right? Similarly, our emotional body is where it captures all those emotions and controls those emotions and things like that, right? And the next layer is where our mental body comes into picture. So what does mental body? We talked about in the first week mostly, right? About what a mental activity can happen, like your thought process, your creative ideas, all those are coming from this mental body, my dear friends, right? So wherein uh, thought power, basically we understood about the thought power and all that functionality contains in this layer of the body. Okay, so all these what we talked about are from the physical planes, and all the above the three layers is all from the spiritual planes, is what they're broadly divided into, but everything is formed in layered by layer, right? So next one is the causal body, my dear friends. So what is causal body? Now, what does it contain? That is where your soul contains, your energy system, right? So what you are actually, right? So that causal body is what that does not have any expiry date to it. All the others below, because they are of physical nature, they all have some kind of an expiry. But whereas your causal body, that's where, because that is the starting of your spiritual layer. So that is where our soul resides, right? And on top of it is where you have your mental, emotional, etheric, and then physical, right? That soul is, what does it carry? It carries all your history, right? Because soul always comes with the knowledge, right? Because the soul has captured so much of knowledge. We understood that, right? We understood that soul has so much of knowledge it brought, not just from the human lives, right? It brought from the mineral kingdom, it brought the knowledge from plant kingdom, then animal kingdom, then human kingdom, from various levels of soul movements of infant soul to the matured soul, until then, right, to wherever level you are. So they brought in so much of knowledge, and it also have the balance sheet, what we talked about yesterday, right? So all this is what this causal body contains. But to tap that causal body's knowledge, that what should we do? This mental body, what is depending on the outside world, we should make this body dependent on the causal body. Then you can get answers from within you, and the exact answer as what you need. If this mental body is dependent on outside, it might be right, it might be wrong, right? Because you do not know that answer is coming from outside. But whereas when it comes to you from inside, this is where, because it brings all your history, it exactly knows what is the right thing to do for yourself, right? So that's why we should always make this mental body dependent on this and not outside all these, right? So when we talked about alignment yesterday, so all these bodies we should align to the causal body, right? So otherwise, your physical body doing something, your emotional body, or your emotions are different, your thought process is different, mind is thinking on its own, your actions are on its own. So there is no sync between all the things what you're thinking and what you're doing. So this is where the alignment comes into play, my dear friends. So each of these layers are, we need to build, or we need to make all these alignment strong. And when you have this total 7 alignment strong, this is where the you have heard the concept of aura, right? So that is the, like an inner wall for you, my dear friends. So irrespective of what is coming from outside, if you want to prevent with any of the damages, either physically, emotionally, mentally, wherever, if your aura is strong, this structure, if it is as big as possible, then you are as secure as possible, right? So there is no negative forces or no negative. If somebody is talking negative, it will not affect you, because this aura protects you. And this aura you can build only when each of these body is strong enough to stand on its own, so that it can support, right? If, say, suppose if your mental body is not dependent on this and it's always dependent on outside, then it is not strong enough, because you're always dependent. But if it is dependent on this causal body, then you are all dependent from inside. Then you know what to expect. You know what is coming against you, so that uh, you can respond rather than react, right? So if the difference between the respond and reaction, right? So reaction is, if somebody says, suppose, say something bad to you, you immediately react and say that you either defend, or you fall against them, right? Or you talk against them. That's what is the reaction. Whereas if you are dependent on your causal body, then you will respond, which means you will try to understand, because you know that there should be a reason why somebody is shouting. What is the cause for that? Is there anything I can help to make them understand better, or are they in the trouble wherein I can help them. So you will get into that kind of an analysis mode wherein in reaction there is no time for all that, right? Because you immediately react and say something which they might get hurt or you might get hurt, whatever can happen. But in this case, if you are responding, then you are able to analyze and then talk. And how will all that come? Just based on your awareness, my dear friends. You'll have to just, whenever that negative thing is coming to you, you'll allow a moment to think, okay, and how that will come based on your practice of awareness. And how that practice of awareness is coming based on your meditation practice, what you're doing, because that is what you're practicing in meditation, is how effectively I can be aware of things, right? I'm aware of my breath always, I'm aware of my emptiness always, right? I'm aware of what kind of thoughts I'm getting, right? So you are aware of everything. So that awareness you are practicing, and that awareness is what will help you to respond rather than react, my dear friends. Right? So hope you guys understand the difference between each of the body's functionalities. Right? Now let's understand these two, which are again from the spiritual aspect, because this at least we have spoken so far. Also, how does these bodies impact? Okay, so here, all these places you are saying my physical body, right? My etheric body, my emotional body, my mental body, and even saying, and we'll not say my causal body, because I am the causal body, right? And for me, I have this mental layer, I have this emotional layer, and I have this astral layer and etheric and physical layer, right? Because I am the causal body, I'm saying, and I've covered with all this. Now, what does a spiritual body means is now you are not you are going one step ahead, just not seeing for yourself, you are seeing the same thing in others also, right? Because now when you see inside, we talked about this also, my dear friends, earlier. So say suppose you have a soul and you are covered with a human body, and now you have an animal covered with an animal body, but inside is the soul, right? So the same thing with the plant. There is a soul inside, covered outside by a plant. Same thing with the mineral. You have a rock inside with that energy. That's what we are calling it as a soul, right? Same thing on the human body. So now you are able to analyze when you have enough spiritual strength or spiritual awareness, when you grow up from this causal body to this layer, when you have your energies elevate to that level, then you will be able to understand that me and others are same, right? They are just covered with a different body, and I'm covered with a different body. They are covered with a different layer, covered with a different layer, but we are all one and the same. That oneness you will feel when you come to that kind of an energy level, my dear friends, right? So that's where you will feel that oneness, and we are all one kind of a thing. For that, you need to elevate your energies to that level. Only then you'll be able to reach. Now, divine body is the ultimate. It's not kind of uh, uh, a body as such. It is a state. It is a state wherein now there is no body, no soul, just emptiness. Everything is just one total energy ball, right? Now there is not even differentiation between an animal or a human being, or we are all same. That is crossed that level also, saying everything is one full energy ball, right? So there is no differentiation of anything, just emptiness. So that is the state what you will arrive when, that is called kind of a samadhi state, right? So that is not a body by itself, but it is a total oneness of one big energy ball, right? So that's how. So all this you'll be able to reach slowly from one after the other. In initially, when say suppose the soul is infant, they are just worried about their physical body, right? They just want to eat, they just wanted to sleep, work, and that's all, nothing more, right? So as they grow from that infant soul to the next levels, they'll understand each of these body structures, and they're becoming experienced soul to the matured souls, my dear friends, right? So that is what you will understand, that eventually when you reach to a state where everything is one, you'll take a lot of lifetimes to understand this whole structure. Okay, so if we wanted to come to this final stage, so what does this mean? How do you come? You'll have to increase your energy levels, the capacity of energy levels, to from this level to this level to this level. It has to reach higher and higher, so that our understanding, our whole structure and ourselves will be able to understand it in much more higher ways, my dear friends. And for that to understand, you need your energies to grow, nothing else. Nothing else. As long as your energies are growing, you automatically you'll fall into that place of understanding, right? So there is no any extra things what we need to do. We just have to ensure that our energy levels are always in increasing mode. Okay, friends. So that's what I wanted to talk about, this whole bodies. And the dots here is the chakras. So what does this mean is what we'll talk tomorrow, my dear friends. Okay, now we talked about various bodies this way, and tomorrow we'll be talking this chakra system, which is again from bottom to the top. So we'll see what are the various chakras and what are those functionalities. This is all again spiritual science, my dear friends. Okay, so yeah, before going to our next segment of meditation, I just wanted to show you our next program. So this is what I was talking about, my dear friends, Journey Towards True Path. So this is the season 2. We are going to start from the 26th, which is next Monday. Means we will exactly finish our 21 days program, and from Monday we'll be starting this. So if you see here, my dear friends, there are a lot of topics with various masters coming from different parts of the world, right? So again, this is a 2-hour program, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning hours of EST, my dear friends. So early morning, you get up and you get this kind of wisdom, you do a meditation, and your entire day will be much more blissful and happier, my dear friends. So I would recommend everybody to join this, and our our or minimum responsibility, my dear friends. So we should take this to our friends and families so that they can benefit, because these kind of programs, the ones at least I am doing is I'm doing alone, and we can do it repeatedly. But these kind of programs, they come up only once in a while, my dear friends, and bringing so many great speakers talking about different topics under one platform is very very difficult, and we are able to do this by sitting in our homes. So why not take advantage of such kind of programs, right? So there is no cost of any kind. These are all free programs. So our basic responsibility would be to inform our friends, families, and make them register and join, so that we all can benefit and make this world a peaceful environment, my dear friends. Okay, so we'll be sharing these flyers and the registration link in our WhatsApp group after our session. So I would recommend please go and register. So we are taking the registrations just to ensure that we are able to provide enough information to them on daily basis, what kind of topic, what kind of masters are coming and talking, so that we'll be able to share that instead of spreading it openly, right? So that's why the registration is, but there is no cost of any kind for these kind of programs. So this is the registration link. So I'll post this in our WhatsApp group so that you can click and register yourself, my dear friends. Okay. Okay. With that said, I'll stop sharing and I'll open up questions for just about 10 seconds before we get on to meditation, my dear. Okay, so we'll again open up the questions at the end. So let's get on to meditation, my dear friends. Make your room as dark as possible. Take out your glasses, we don't need them. Sit in a comfortable position, my dear friends. Wherever, on the floor, on the sofas. If you are on the sofas, you just have to cross your legs, clasp your hands, close your eyes. Let's do some relaxation from top to bottom, my dear friends. Relax the place between those eyebrows, your neck, your shoulders. Knowingly or unknowingly, they would be tight, so just relax them. Your hands, wrists, your upper back, lower back. You can lean your back, my dear friends, but do not lean your head. Let's relax your thighs, your knees, legs, and the toes. Okay, now let's get on to our breath, my dear friends. It is very soft and tranquil. The natural inflow and the outflow of the breath, my dear friends. Each one of us have our own rhythm of the breathing. We just have to observe that rhythm, my dear friends. We do not want to plan anything for tonight or tomorrow. No family, husband, wife, children, nobody at this point. Just you. This is your time, my dear friends. Out of the 24 hours, we spend all the hours for various things, but just this 1 hour, let's dedicate to ourselves. We'll play some soft music. So let's be with our breath, my dear friends. So, friends, we have now understood the science behind this various bodies, my dear friends. So we know where we should focus now. Of course, we need the physical body, but the importance is we need to give enough importance to our energy system, which is the etheric body, my dear friends. All our diseases or the patches on our etheric body, and that cleansing can happen only with the flow of cosmic energy, my dear friends. So when the cosmic energy flows into your etheric body, it washes away all the patches, and that's how we can resolve most of our diseases. Because all these, most of the times, are patches which formed based of emotional and your bad thinking process, right? So those becomes like patches, and that cleansing cannot happen otherwise, my dear friends. There is no other method which cleanses all this apart from this cosmic energy. So as how we cleanse our physical body daily, we will have to do cleansing of our etheric body. That is why meditation is needed on our daily basis, my dear friends. Just be with your breath, my dear friends. So, friends, all this knowledge is being shared just to help us understand the science behind so that it can enhance or improve our quality of meditation, what we do. That is the reason when it said meditation is an important activity in our day-to-day life. There is so much of science happens behind. Let's improve the quality of our meditation. Let's not get tangled with our thoughts. This kind of wisdom becomes light into our mind, which where we will know where the tanglement is and you can clear those tanglements. That is the reason of all this wisdom, my dear friends. Our eventual goal is to improve our awareness, improve our thought process. Friends, final 2 minutes. Let's try to enjoy that moment. Remember all those experiences, what you got in that emptiness, my dear friends. Do not open your eyes, please. Final 1 minute, my dear friends. Slowly get back into your physical senses. Feel your body. Feel your hands. Feel your legs. Do not open your eyes, please. Past 30 seconds. Final 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, friends, slowly place both your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. Let all that energy from your hands go back into your eyes, my dear friends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You can now slowly take off your hands and open your eyes whenever you are ready. Take your time, my dear friends. Have some water. Okay, friends, give a big clap for yourself for a wonderful session. If you have any questions on any of the subject or anything you want to share, please unmute yourself and you can talk. You can use your reactions, use the chat. Any questions on the upcoming program? Anything is fine, my dear friends. It's free to talk. Yeah, at least by end of this program, we should be able to share, friends. So something what you felt, what you feel about the session, what you have learned, whatever, so that only then you will be able to open up, and then you'll learn more basically. Because if you keep everything for yourself, then there is no sharing, right? Sharing is caring. So that's how it works. Okay. So if there are no more questions, friends, let's meet tomorrow, same time, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 7 a.m. India time. Tomorrow there will be a lot more subject, my dear friends. So we'll start in time. So do not be late, because you might miss some important subject. So please join in time. We have a lot more to cover for tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good night. Yeah. See you all tomorrow. Bye.